Hello everyone, this episode is brought to you by the letters H and S and the number 10. H and S for health and safety, and the number 10 for the amount of digits I hope to have left at the end of it. Right, so this is a quarter cable router which I have. I don't have a router table, but I do have this knockoff workmate type woodworking table. And what I'm hoping to do is clamp this in to hold it in place so that I can use it as a makeshift router table to route a rebate in a couple of pieces of timber that I need for the companionway hatch. Basically what I'm trying to do is immobilise the router so that it won't move around. It's not going to be a router table by any stretch of the imagination, but if it stops it from moving around, it'll do the job for this. Right. Better don some protective equipment. My first pass at doing it proves that it will work. The only thing is I was set a bit too far deep. I need to adjust it down. I didn't want to have it set too far down because I didn't want to risk damaging the router with it. So I'm a little bit too high there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it down slightly so I'm not just routing into the piece. I'm just taking the piece off the side of it, which will mean it won't smoke the same way as it was there now. But it works. And I reckon it's going to do the job. I was also able to plunge cut here at the end, which means with the piece of the companionway I'm going to have them meeting like this as you've seen previously. So I don't want to cut through out of the end if I can on the ones that are going to be showing the face of the edge piece like this. So if I can plunge cut into them like that, it'll leave that closed off, which will look better. Right, so I'll just adjust this down in the body. That proves it's going to work anyway. That's the finished rebate there, or rabbit, whatever you want to call it. So the idea of this is that I can sit down a piece of plywood into the top of the companionway to make it solid, and I can coat that with epoxy to waterproof it, and then I can do the finish, a Roco sort of strip finish on top of it. Right, so that's definitely quicker than building any of the most simple router tables that I saw on YouTube to build. Were going to be a lot more difficult than that. So it's only going to do one thing, but it definitely does the job. And it took about 5-10 minutes to get together. So that's the rabbit cut, and this is the plywood that I'm going to be using to make the top section. That fits in there. It's just slightly proud, maybe a millimetre, but that's not really going to make a difference, because the Roco finishing strips I'm going to put on top is going to go on top of that, so that's just be made up with the glue or whatever. It doesn't really make much difference. But this will mean that I'll have that solid top in there, which will give it structural strength and also means I can waterproof that as well. So I think that's going to work just fine. So that's it. It worked well. Had the rabbit cut out in it all around. Just the corners here I stopped short as I intended to. Just going to trim those little bits out with the chisel just to square those off. But poor man's rabbit table worked really well, and I still have 10 digits left. So at the end of the last episode I spoke about making a mast tabernacle for the boat and using these two pieces here. Now that was a good plan and definitely had a lot of merits, but thinking about it and coming in possession of something else, I decided that this is going to be now known as Plan A, and I'm going to go with Plan B. So what's Plan B, you may ask? Let me show you. Introducing Plan B. So Plan B is using the same material, only bigger pieces, and this has all the positives and pros of Plan A and none of the negatives. So the fact that it's taller, it means that I can pivot the mast at a higher point, which raises the point it's going to sit above the cabin roof and at the cockpit level, which means that with this I'll still be able to access into the cabin of the boat through the companionway hatch, even with the mast down. Now it's not going to be easily accessible, like it's not in the way, but it's just definitely going to make it a lot easier to get in and out rather than if it's pivoting down at this point here. So that's the positive for this as well. It's actually, I have a piece for the bottom here to make the base of it, which is wider. Now I don't have to go exactly this wide. I have it left out 100 millimeters or 4 inches on this side and slightly longer on the other side. I may trim that back. It just depends on how it sits on the cabin roof. But at this point here, it's together. There's 2 holes already here drilled in it. I'm probably going to drill a higher up hole here and make that the pivot point to maximise the use of the material. There's no point having it up here and pivoting it down here. So I'll put a hole up here at this level here for the pivot point, and then I can use these 2 here to either one just at the bottom I can use to anchor it when it's in the upright position, and also if I feel the need I can put another anchor point through there. I don't think so. Any ones I've seen pictures of on the internet or online just virtually have a pivot point and a locking point, and that's it. That's definitely big time. It's definitely pulling over big fucking time. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and I'll see you next time.